This has Magic Japan inside. It's my new lens, an original Fujifilm lens. But after using this lens on Fujifilm X-T5, on X-T30 Mark II, I was amazed with the performance, but also with the image quality. And this is why I've bought it. When I first saw pictures with this lens, I fell in love immediately with it. And I want to tell you why this lens, what is this lens, and my first impressions, and I will show you pictures and results made with this lens on Fujifilm X-T5, and I will also throw in the mix X Pro 3. Why this lens? It's a must for an X Pro user, because this is why I've bought it, and this lens is dedicated to the X Pro shooters. So let's talk about this now. Hi there and welcome to my channel. Tudor Matescu here. I have here a lens that I didn't thought I will buy it because it's a very old lens. It's one of the first Fujifilm lenses from what I understand, and it makes a great pair with Fujifilm X Pro 3. So first of all, why I've decided to buy this lens? I've discovered a very good offer at my local shop, and I was between this lens and other lens, and the first I bought the other lens, and after 2 weeks the price dropped even more. So this is a lens that you can buy on the used market at very good prices, but I've bought it new and I have 2 years warranty. So I said I can't refuse the offer, I will buy it. I've paid around $250 for this lens, brand new, 2 years warranty. I said I can't refuse it because before this I was seeing the images and portraits made with this lens. So I was looking at portraits with this lens online on Facebook. Just a user posted some portraits with this lens. I searched the Flickr forums, I searched the internet. I wasn't able to discover more portraits made with this lens. But after seeing the rendering with this lens for portraits, I felt in love, and I feel that this lens is delivering even better portraits than the 56mm f1.2 original lens. And probably why not the 56mm f1.2 WR if you want a magic lens. So the rendering of this lens for portraits, it's outstanding out of this world. But it's not an f1.2 lens. So this could be a problem for a portrait shooter that wants to shoot in low light events, but if you use light, definitely you'll love this lens. It has a still pretty good aperture. So anyway, I was very scared how the lens will focus, because it's an old lens and lots of people complained about the AF of this lens. So I've used this lens with the best camera that Fujifilm is making right now, I would say X-T5. So here it is, Fujifilm X-T5 with this Fujinon lens, old lens. And I was very curious how this lens will perform in AF, in AFC, in IAF. I didn't expect it will perform in IAF. So first I've tested this lens with AFS, good results. Again, the field of view, it's a portraiture field of view, and I wasn't very accustomed with it, but after my photo work, I was getting very accustomed. And I've got very good results in AFS. I didn't try to use this lens in AFC, just with tracking. I've used it in AFC on a very difficult subject, and I'm showing you right now pictures with IAF and AFC, normal settings. And I was blown away. The lens focused very well on the eye of the performer, and the performer was in focus and it was moving very fast. So the lens in this sports action movement was performing very well. So I said, wow, I can't believe this is true, because when you will search online, you'll see lots of reports of this lens being a slowish lens, but on X-T5 is doing miracles. I also tested this lens on X-T30 Mark II just yesterday, and the AF was still great. For normal subjects. I will test it even more, but overall with X-T30 Mark II, X-T5, so also with X Pro 6, this lens will perform outstanding, or outstanding in Fujifilm terms, regarding AF. So for Fujifilm AF I said, okay, it's a winner. But what about image quality? So I was very curious after getting home, will my pictures, look how the pictures I was able to see online? Will I have that micro contrast, that 3D pop that was really amazing? Leica, I don't know, that even better than a Leica. So I've looked at my pictures and I was really amazed. I'm showing you pictures right now with this lens, and I am amazed regarding color. So the color, it's that color, that original Fujifilm color of the glass. The sharpness is very good. Of course, the lens is not resolving the 40 megapixel sensor from what I'm seeing, but it's plenty of resolution, probably at least 24, but anyway, enough for what this lens is, because great AF on X-T5 and very light. This is one of the best things that I must address here. It's a very light lens. I will discuss at build quality. So image quality amazing, light lens on X-T5, light like a feather. And the micro contrast, the details, the color, and the Fujifilm bite. What's more important here is the Fujifilm bite. I have here the lens that lots of people are loving it. It's the XF 35mm f1.4, the magic lens. This is more magical. This is more magical than the 35mm f1.4 if you are asking me. It's also more magical than the 56mm f1.2. The problem is that it doesn't have such a great aperture, and I will tell you immediately regarding the aperture, but it also has another good advantage. It has macro abilities. So this lens has an ability of 0.5 macro and the 26mm minimum focus distance. So great macro abilities, great minimum focus distance for portraits, very good AF, and great IAF with the Fujifilm X-T5. So a dream lens, and the magic and the rendering that are coming from this lens is really outstanding. So really outstanding images, and I will try to use this lens more for videography, because again, the subject that is separating from the background, it's so nice separated. The colors are so nice, so good. The contrast, it's perfect. I don't know, not too much contrast, not too washy, and the bokeh and the autofocus area, great. It has 9 aperture blades. The autofocus areas are great, are melted, are buttery smooth. This lens is even greater than the equivalent lens on my full frame system. What aperture does this lens have that can be used as an everyday portraiture lens or as an even portraiture lens without the lights? It's just an f2.4 aperture, and the focal length, it's the 60mm focal length. So this lens is the original Fujifilm made in Japan 60mm f2.4 macro lens, and it was made for the Fujifilm X Pro 1 lineup. So this lens, I feel it's the last made after the 35mm f1.4 and after the 18mm f2. It's the last made in this trinity for the X Pro shooters. When you are looking at this lens, you will see that it has a very big lens hood. But look how small it is. The lens is very small, and it's a 90mm equivalent lens. And I also have the Sigma lens on my full frame Sony 7C that I'm loving it how it renders. But I feel I love this more. The magic of this lens, the way it renders, it's outstanding. It's really outstanding. It's even better, how I said, than the 35mm f1.4 and then the 56mm f1.2 that I didn't use, but looking and knowing Fujifilm lenses, I feel that this is even better. New users are thinking if 4mm will do a difference in compression and how an image is rendering. From my point of view, yes, the 5mm of a focal lens will do a much difference. So I have the 90mm Sigma lens f2.8, and I feel that lens it's rendering better images with a better subject to background separation than the Sony 85mm f1.8 and so on. So the extra millimeters in the focal lens are bringing a big difference in the final result. Now let me address a little this lens on Fujifilm X Pro 3. This lens is optimized to be shooted with the optical viewfinder. This lens without the lens hood or with the lens hood inverted, it will help you see through the optical viewfinder, and you will not have optical viewfinder blockage at all. But with the lens hood mounted, you'll have a little optical viewfinder blockage depending on how far or how close you are focusing, but you'll be able to see through the lens hood. So it's very interesting because the lens hood, it's a little vented. Here you have a little window and you are able to see through the optical viewfinder and through the lens. I don't know if it's helping you a lot, but also you have the electronical viewfinder when you need it. So overall, I need to test it more on X Pro 3, but I was very curious how this lens was acting on X-T5. I also used the lens on Fujifilm X-T30 Mark II, and I was very surprised with the AF. Very, very good results. So overall, the lens is working really, really great. Now regarding build quality of this lens, you have a metal lens hood. Just from what I'm knowing, these lenses have a metal lens hood and are made in Japan. So the 80mm f2 metal square lens hood, the 35mm f1.4 metal lens hood, and this 60mm f2.4 rounded lens hood metal build, and it's very light. So the lens and lens hood are light like feather. So looking how Fujifilm was making lenses, now it's a shame that we have plastic lens hoods, because it seems that they are able to do metal lens hoods sturdy with some thickness to it that are light as feather. So really, really great. Now the aperturing. The aperturing is not one of the greatest Fujifilm aperture rings, but this is Fujifilm. On some lenses you have great aperture rings like this pancake lens. And I'm not a big fan of the image quality of this lens, but the old lenses or even the new lenses, the 80mm f1.4 lens, they are not making consistent aperture rings with consistent aperture clicks. What can I tell you? I've bumped just a little by mistake from f2.4 to f2.8 the aperture ring, but overall, for the price that I've paid, for the image quality that this lens is giving to me, for the performance on X-T30 Mark II AF that has the same AF as X Pro 3, and also for the performance on X-T5 regarding IAF, this lens, it's a bargain. It's an original Fujifilm lens, and I feel that it will put lots of users in thinking which lens to buy: a Sigma f1.4 lens, a TT Artisan f1.8 lens, 56mm lenses, or this f2.4 that it's rendering portraits better than all these lenses from my point of view. So a real treat this lens. It is an original Fujifilm lens. This lens can be bought on the used market at prices around $150. So a great portraiture lens that, again, even better images than my full frame lenses. I will use it more and I will tell you my final review after several months of using this lens. Till then, please subscribe to my channel, check my blog for more samples and pictures with Fujifilm lenses and with Fujifilm cameras. Subscribe to my newsletter, leave me your comments, and give this video a like, share it with your friends, and please click the next video. This is helping a lot the algorithm to promote my videos. Thank you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.